everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails. I am back and stronger than ever with a great guest here. I have a friend, a colleague. We just hit it off again. It was a BSCI Arizona conference that we were just at, and I think we hung out the whole time that we were there. But you guys, I have Craig Rudin, the CEO of Fuller Industries. He's been in the industry, the cleaning industry, you guys, for over 30 years now. And Fuller Industries is a part of the GDI brand. And I'm going to stop there because Craig has a great story, a great overview of the cleaning industry. And I wanted him to share it from his lens and his point of view. So Craig, without further ado, my man, let's cheers it up. We did a lot of cheering, I think.
Yes, cheers, Ricky.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
I think
we did.
There was quite a few cheers.
Yes, cheers to you.
Yes, sir. So, Craig, why did you want to come on the podcast? And why did you want to share the story on the 2.0? But before then, Craig Rudin in the cleaning industry, 30 years. Holy crap, that's a long time. Tell us the journey.
Yes, and I kind of feel a little old today too, but having a cocktail with you is always a refreshing event. But no, it's I've been in the cleaning industry all of my, I guess, adult working life, and I probably still don't classify as an adult because I'm still a kid at heart like you. But started in this business right out of university. Got involved in a chemical manufacturing business with my father called Huntington Laboratories. And my first job out of university was to build and design a computer workloading system for janitorial cleaning. So this was back in the late 90s. So we designed a system on an IBM AT. You're probably too young to know what that piece of hardware is. But essentially, 2 floppy disks, and that's how you wrote the program. And what we found back in those days is that people were having a really hard time justifying their staffing for cleaning. So did they have too many people? Did they have not enough people? And so essentially we built and marketed the first workloading software system in the world. It was called Champ at the time. And so that was my first job out of university, to really understand the dynamics of the cleaning industry. We did really well with that product and that business, and we ended up selling the business to a company called Ecolab. And so, I've spent a majority of my life. Yeah,
I think I know who they are.
Yeah, I've spent a majority of my life in the cleaning industry, either in the chemical side, in the management staffing side, and now coming back full circle with the GDI family. Obviously, GDI is a very large commercial cleaning company, and we also own a chemical and manufacturing part of our business. We have a distribution part of our business. And so, the heart of the industry is the cleaner. And that's why I wanted to chat with you a little bit about some of the changing dynamics that we're seeing in the industry, and why it's important to understand them and adapt your business to the new persona of the person that's doing the work that we sell and the product that we deliver. And so, what was very interesting to me in the early years was, why is the cleaning concept such a complicated product to deliver? You ever stop and think about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you take a step back, like others who will give their perspective on cleaning, right, and their assumption on, I don't want to pay that much for cleaning. It's easy. It's this. It's simple. It's not that tough. It's just a labor job. Like, there is a science and a technique to it, but because of the years that have happened and gone by and gone through and pricing and all that, like, I'll tell you, it is a struggle. It is an uphill battle to validate a certain price point for cleaning, because many people just don't look at it as a trade, Craig. I say it's a trade. I think it's a trade in my opinion. So that's why, again, when you brought up this subject to me, I was like, man, this is something, I don't care if you're small, medium, large, or a supplier or manufacturer. Like you said it, the foundation of this industry is the cleaning technician. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I I got to tell you, I've been in the space for 10 years. And since I've been in the space, I started as thinking it was going to be easy, and I have grown to respect and try to understand the challenge of why others now don't understand that it is not easy. And this
Yeah.
is a skilled labor job versus a entry level.
Yeah, so you stop and think about the product that we deliver, which is essentially clean, and then you think about the process that goes into delivering that product, and it's essentially a human being that's doing highly labor intensive work that they might or might not enjoy doing, and for the most part, they're unsupervised. So it's not like running a
Yeah,
factory where you can watch a worker and you know how many widgets an hour that worker is producing. And you can say, okay, we had a good shift or a bad shift. The challenge with the cleaning industry is you can't necessarily watch what that cleaner is doing. And it's very hard to determine their output other than the fact that the customer says it's good or bad. Right? And so, it's a very complicated product to deliver, and that's why the essence is trying to get to the heart and the soul of the cleaner to try and figure out how to make their day fulfilling. So at the end of the day, they feel okay. I did a great job. People liked what I did. They thanked me for what I did, and I'm going to come back and do it tomorrow. As opposed to I'm getting no feedback. People are keep yelling at me. People are giving me tools and processes and products to use that are complicated that don't work properly. And so, the essence is how do we figure out a way to make the cleaner happy? Because if the cleaner's happy, they're going to do a good job because I have a lot of faith in human beings, and they're not going to come to work and say I'm just going to come and do a crappy job. Right? They want
yeah,
to come to
no,
work,
for
they want
sure.
to feel fulfilled, they want to be able to get some positive feedback around the job that they did, and then they got to come back and do it again, and it's in a lot of cases it's a thankless job. The worst job I ever had in my life, I was a dishwasher. And I didn't last long in that job because the guy said to me, I don't think you're really cut out to do this kind of work. But you'd show up for a shift, and the dish pit would just look like a bomb hit it, right? And you'd work for 6 or 8 hours getting everything cleaned up, and you felt, okay, it's great. But then you come back to work the next day and it looks like a bomb hit it, and you're going about doing the same
I get it.
process. And so if you
Yeah,
think about, the people that do the work for the product that we deliver, uh, it's a very, very challenging aspect to them feeling fulfilled and happy.
yeah. I mean, you said it right. Thankless job. So, Craig, like what, I struggle with this too is like, you said how to make them happy. Because a happy person, a positive person is always going to provide a better output, right? But like, here's one thing. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things we touch on, but I love that you jumped right into it. It was like,
Yeah,
who cares about Craig in my background? Let's talk about Cleaner 2.0. All right,
let's
so
talk about our
you
business.
guys, and yeah, and just so you guys know, like this is a guy who shit ton of experience. Like when you're at these events, when I was there, Craig, like, people know who you are and people respect your experience, but you're a humble guy, man. And like, it was easy to talk to you and talk shop. So again, when you started talking about Cleaner 2.0, it really caught my attention because this is the most difficult piece, in my opinion, of the industry. Sales, if you're good at sales, you're going to get sales, right? Uh, HR, as far as like managing the personnel and uh, inspections and technology and robotics and equipment and like again all those things, not easy but very doable, right? There's tools to do that. The human being, the cleaner, the technician, to get into their mind. and tell them what you just said, right? Like they're going to go to clean every night. They're going to wake up and then do it again tomorrow, and then wake up and do it again tomorrow, and then wake up, and they're going to walk into a facility that may not respect the work that they did, complained about the work that they did. Like it is a very tough job on your ego, right? And on like your on the way you wake up and go at work every day. It's a very labor intensive job. I would love to ask you, like, do you think we'll ever get to the point, especially for small, medium size, larger contractors? I think have a little bit more of a leg up on this, but in the perfect world, I imagine cleaning technicians, companies being able to train their technicians at the office, prepare them, have a pool of employees ready to go, trained up, pumped up to get into the workforce for their accounts. We don't have the luxury of time. We don't have the luxury of doing that because of the cost. Like, what is your? I mean, to me, I fight that challenge every day. Every day we want to have a training for a week and have a cleaner ready to go. We end up having to start them the next day because the account needs to start. We have no time, and they're off to the races. They trained for like a day. How do we avoid that, or what are steps smaller companies can start to take where it doesn't eat up a lot of cost, and better prepare these technicians? Because that is when I see we fail, is when we put a technician in an account way too soon. They weren't ready, and they're upset from the get go. As much as we tried, they walk into a bad situation.
Yeah, so and it's becoming more challenging as the world evolves. So if you look at your basic building service contractor is essentially looking at about a 400% turnover in labor, which is astounding if you're thinking about delivering a product. And so what's happening now is that the persona of the cleaner, what I'm calling this cleaner 2.0, is a completely different individual than what we had in the past. You know, if we were staffing a building in the past, we would have a crew. In a lot of cases, these people have been working in the building for 10 or 15 years. They're craftspeople. They take a lot of pride in their work. They've been in the business for a while. They probably have a lot of family members that are working with them, and it was a completely different type of individual. And so today, the labor that we're attracting to do the work is the cleaner 2.0. And so essentially, they're probably working a couple of jobs. They're probably working in the gig economy. So they might be, driving an Uber during the day or and cleaning at night, and vice versa, or they might be, working at a Starbucks or a McDonald's, and then they're switching to a cleaning job. They tend to be younger students. They tend to be more educated and more discerning than what we've seen in the past. And so they're going to ask more questions. They're going to ask, what does your company stand for, and what do you believe in, and what are the goals and the mantra, the culture that exists within your business, and are you using products that are environmentally sensitive, and is the stuff that you're giving me to use safe? And so the dynamic of this individual that we're now calling the cleaner 2.0 is quite different. They tend to be very technology adept, so they want to use a smartphone to communicate and drive their life. They don't want complicated processes. They don't want a bunch of different products. They want something that's very simple and easy to understand and adapt. So because we don't have the time or the money or the resources to train them the way we would have done in the past. And so essentially it's saying, okay, if this persona of the cleaner 2.0 exists, this is the new worker that we're going to try to attract into this business. How do we think about how do we, recruit and attract them? How do we get them to look at coming and working for our business? How do we train them? How do we involve them? How do we try to get to their heart so that the product that they deliver is actually meaningful? How do we motivate them? And then more importantly, how do we retain them? So is there an ability to be able to show them a career path? So you start out as a technician one, and we'll show you how to do basic cleaning, okay? And then we say, all right, you can now evolve to a technician two, which involves, a wage increase, and you get some kind of certification. And a technician two is somebody that works on floors, and now we're going to let you start to work with automated equipment. A technician three is somebody that works with a robot. So, how do you deploy a robot? How do you effectively use robotics to do the highly labor intensive, repetitious work, and then have the human doing the stuff that's more insightful? Then they can become a supervisor. They can essentially become an area
Mm,
manager, because a lot of these folks are trying to understand what to do with their life and in their environment, where I can drive an Uber, I could work at a McDonald's, I could work at a Walmart, or I can be, in your terms, a cleaning technician. So, what flips the switch for them there? Because obviously, if you can retain these people and you can get to their heart and they can buy into the culture and understand that the product that they're delivering every day is important, and it's meaningful, then you solve a lot of the problems. But it's not easy.
yeah.
So that
So
was that
Craig,
was a lot.
uh, no, no, no. Again, we got a lot of sound bites there, right? But I actually I like how you went because I'm going to tell you from shared experience too. Like the tech one, tech two, tech three, tech four. Like I hope anybody who's listening in the audience is taking notes on that because I got to tell you, man. So we've been entering into on the Rosalato side medical office accounts and like dealing with property management that have like campuses. And I'm learning on, it's why I love going on these sales presentations in person. And, of course, I'm pitching route at the same time. I'm pitching technology, right? But they turn the conversation back to the cleaner. So it's back to, hey, love your tech, love the inspections, love that I can have a pulse of my business and blah, blah, blah. But talk to me about how a technician grows with your company. Talk to me how you retain the talent. Talk to me how you're recruiting talent. Talk to me how they can build a career with your brand. And I got to be honest with you, like I didn't have some of those slides in our presentation, so it made me think like, okay, we have like what we have is like a ladder of success. So kind of like what you said on the tech 1, 2, 3, 4, but we start like technician, rock star, inspector, trainer, supervisor, area manager, regional, right? So again, kind of in the same lines of they see growth.
Hmm.
Uh, but what I'd like to start doing is like add a video or two into the presentation, add a real life image of people that have gone from a technician to a regional, like in their story, the journey on how they got there, right? Because like those end up being the people that turn around, and you know what they end up being is our best recruiters because they've gone the path, they've dealt with the growth, and to them it's like this company backed up what they said they were going to do in the beginning, and I'm here to show that, right? So I think what we got to do is look back to our own people and our own success stories, and they actually could be the ones that lead the charge for us because they've gone through the gamut, right? And it's not just ownership, management, upper management talking the talk. They can actually show that we walk the walk as a company because you're right, culture is everything. The uniforms that you wear, the incentives that they make. Because I got to tell you, even if I charge 20 an hour, a 20 an hour technician may not be better than a 17 an hour technician. It's just, you're just paying more at that point. Like paying more just doesn't cut it anymore, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen. You think about somebody that's at a phase in their life, and now we're getting into the human psyche of the person that works for us. Why would they want to become a cleaner, right? So why do they want to start to think about dedicating a career to the cleaning industry? I've been in the cleaning industry essentially all my life, and it's worked out relatively well. I have more fun than not. I enjoy the
I
people
have
I
a lot of
work with.
I
Yeah,
have a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. And that's the key. But if you think about now the person that's working for us, how do we create an environment and a culture that allows them to have fun and they're doing work that in some cases people don't think is important, and in some cases it could be thankless. So, if you're talking to your kid and you say, I think you should invest in a career in the cleaning industry because, okay, because you're doing work that's important. I always joke around. I say everything's fine until the cleaner doesn't show up, right?
Oh yeah.
Cleaner doesn't show up,
Oh
you're either cleaning yourself or something doesn't get cleaned. And so, whilst most
no, you'd
people
be
think,
right. Like Craig, you'd be surprised how many owners of a company will pick up the phone and call when they got wind that a cleaner did not show up. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. Oh, the owner's calling me. Yeah, that's how important it is.
yeah, so it's being able to uh, relay that message and being able to get into the psyche and the heart of the person that's working for you, that it's really important. And a really interesting way to do that is a couple of concepts that have been around for a while, like day cleaning. So people always say, well, I don't get the same productivity by doing day cleaning because there's people around, and we got to work around them. But if you stop and think about the level of supervision that goes on when your cleaners are cleaning during the day versus at night, it's dramatically different. So now people are watching them, they're seeing what they're doing. That cleaner gets feedback on a constant basis on the fact that, number one, they're a human and they're doing a job. Number two, what they're doing is important. And you know what? A lot of times people will say thank you, or you know what, I'm working here. You don't need to clean the garbage in my office, or you can just work around me, or let me go out of my office and let me do my thing and come back and say, you know what, this place looks great. It smells great, and that's instant gratification for that cleaner, so that they feel fulfilled, because the whole premise to this is a happy cleaner is a productive cleaner. A productive
Mm.
cleaner uh, allows us to make money, and a productive cleaner allows us to deliver a product that meets or exceeds our customers' expectations. And it's funny, when people see people around and they interact with them, they start to develop a personal relationship with these folks. And it's a lot harder for them to say, hey, Craig did a really crappy job last night. And, there's a paper clip in the corner of my office that got missed. And I always say, well, we thought you really wanted to have it there. So we picked it up, we vacuumed around it, and we put it back because we thought it was important for you to be there. Right. And so,
Oh,
that's some of the dynamics and fun of our business. So, the concept around day cleaning, especially with this cleaner 2.0, because these people are a lot more social and a lot more interactive than what we've seen with our previous workforce. And the other fun concept to play around with is team cleaning.
oh yeah,
So
love it.
so instead of having somebody work by themselves on a constant basis, you now put them in a team. And so you put a backpack on somebody, and their job is to do all of the vacuuming, and somebody else's job is to go and do certain components in the restroom. So they're taking out the garbage, they're replacing the supplies, the towel and tissue, and the soap. And then you have a third person that's coming in and doing the cleaning of the toilets and the sinks and etc. Now they feel like they're banding together in order to combine efforts to deliver a product. And by the way, those two concepts are not very difficult to deliver but what it solves is the supervision part, right? And then the other part it solves is being able to have human interaction to feel like the
Right.
task that they're doing is delivering an outcome that is actually good.
All right. Love these topics right now. Craig, so Cleaner 2.0, day border, I get it, man. Because, like, dude, I've seen the difference of the technicians that we have, Craig, that work during the day at accounts. And, dude, they are happy, right? They're like, they have a relationship. They're getting birthday cards. They're part of the company party. They're part of the team. They're embraced by the staff. They look forward to getting there. They get there early. They leave later. They go the extra mile because now they have a face to their name. They have a face to the company, the brand. They have integrity. They actually worry about what the staff is going to think of their service. Like it unlocks so much more from that level of service that you're providing. So before I go to team cleaning, I'm going to come to you with now, how do we talk to the client about this though? Like, if do we use that kind of data and insight that we know already that hey, you got Cleaner 2.0, who's more charismatic, more educational, more tech savvy, more social, right? Like, let's put can instead of servicing from 6 to 10 at night, can we start at 3 to 7, right? Like, could we get there when you're there, like as you're closing? Can we like to put them in that situation, to put a face to their name? But how do we talk to the client about this? Because that's what I'm worried about. Is not all our clients want us to work day shifts, so I'm stuck having to work the night shift. Like, is there a way we can approach this or present this to clients with this kind of backing or support, or what do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on the type of client. So if you take a traditional property manager that's either operating a large office complex or a small office complex, uh, what two complaints do they hear about every day?
Well, miss garbage,
Okay,
no toilet paper, consumables weren't restocked in
yeah,
the bathrooms.
yeah. So, but it's essentially cleaning and temperature is what they hear complaints about, right? Either there's something with the
Okay.
cleaning that's going on, or it's too hot, or it's too cold, or there's not enough
Oh,
airflow,
okay. I got you.
right?
Got it. Got you what you mean.
So
Okay.
if their tenants have an ability to create a relationship with that cleaner and be able to physically see what they're doing, statistically, the number of complaints in cleaning uh, reduce tremendously. All right. So if you say to them, listen, you're hiring me to clean your building, at the end of the day, you want to pay a fair price, you want to have happy tenants, and you don't want to have any headaches, right? So if you let me move to either a swing shift or a day cleaning shift, I'll show you the difference that you're going to get in complaints on the cleaning, and I'm going to show you the interaction and the bond that's formed between your tenant and the cleaner. And then here's the other thing that happens: your ability to pick up tag work, right? So somebody needs
Oh,
their
true.
fridge cleaned
Yeah.
out, somebody needs
There,
their
you're
microwave
more.
cleaned out,
Yeah. Yeah. You have the
right?
opportunity to talk to them and make connection more, right? Like,
Yeah.
because you're there, you're in front of
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. So we now have an ability to offer services to that client. But for you, for your business, we obviously know the margins on tag work are significantly better than the margins on our regular cleaning. And so because that tenant or that customer now has a relationship with the cleaner, they can say to them, hey, do you guys do carpet cleaning? Do you do window cleaning? Will you come in and clean out our refrigerator and our microwave and our break room area? And so the ability to now sell more services is there, but for that property management guy or gal, you're eliminating their headaches, because at the end of the day, they want to be able to go to work and not have their tenants complain. And so cleaning and
Yeah.
temperature are the biggest things. So I actually think it's a really good plus. But the smart business person has ability to now put that kind of spin on it.
No, well, Craig, I mean, you said it, and I'll repeat it again, so we can make sure we touch on this. An important point you made. Swing shift too. I was dropping the ball on thinking of that. That is what that I would meant by the 3 to 7.
Yeah,
So you guys, what Craig said too is how we can communicate to the client that this could be a better opportunity for them to get a service, a better service provided, is show the difference between this day porter swing shift by showing them the level of clean, the bond, and the interaction that our staff will now have with their staff, and that relationship that we can create. It's going to eliminate complaints, and if anything, it's going to unlock a better service all around. So, in a nutshell, that's what I heard, and I wrote that down because I'm going to use that on a PowerPoint slide. Because Craig, think about this too: is we had, and I see one of them right now because again, like I told you, we got a whole training going on right here.
right,
Nobody can see this
right.
behind me, but we have three. I think it's like 3 day porters that had been day porters. They understood the level of service. They understood what we meant by communication. They understood what Rosalato meant by like our 6 steps to success and how we use technology, all this stuff. And they saw the results because they were getting complimented by the staff, and they really became happier and more proud of what they were doing. Correct. They end up being our bridge to a supervisor, and then a manager, and then a regional, because they learned clean. They learned how to interact with the client because not everybody's client facing. They understood what it meant to service that type of a client. So guess who is going to be the person that we assign as a lead or a supervisor for a portfolio of properties. Again, if it's a day porter type of situation, that person is, because they've showed the growth, they've shown improvement, they've developed the relationships, they become that go-to, right? So if anything, this is definitely a strategy I'm going to use and others should use. Is this is also good for team development, right? Employee development is you put them in situations like this, they're gonna care about the work they're doing because they're recognized, man. I've been there. I cleaned at 10 o'clock to 2 in the morning. I didn't see a client. Nobody know who I was. They didn't know that I was the owner cleaning for their account. Nope, no clue. So if if we can if we could put our teams in a better situation like this, it's recognition, man. It really comes into like you said, it's a thankless job. At least this gives them an image. Like
Well, they become
it's
a
again,
brand
it's
ambassador,
ego.
right? They become a brand
Mhm.
ambassador, as opposed to, I'm just the cleaner, and
I'm a
I'm
cleaner. I'm
very,
just a cleaner.
yeah, yeah. I'm very conscious of using the term cleaner versus janitor, because I think that the task that we ask these folks to do is difficult, and if they embrace it as an ambassador and as a cleaner, they can actually make a difference. And so my family always laugh at me, because anytime I see somebody with a GDI uniform in a facility, and we have a lot of people, so sometimes that's frequent, I go up to the person and I ask them if I can give them a hug, which I have to in
Yeah.
today's world, right? And if they say okay, I give them a hug
Yeah.
and thank them for what they do, and I move on my day. So that's kind of a moment of truth for that person, because they're thinking, I'm cleaning up everybody else's mess, or I'm providing a clean, healthy, safe environment for them to do whatever they do in that facility. And it's a switch that goes on in somebody's brain. If you can hit the switch, you make the cleaner happy. If you make the cleaner happy, they'll stay. they'll be productive, they'll become a brand ambassador to you, and this becomes so much more important with the new persona of this cleaner 2.0 because it's a different type of person, and the companies
No,
that
man,
figure out
it's a
how to
ripple effect.
embrace them, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the companies that figure out how to embrace them and create an environment that allows them to flourish, uh, that are going to win, I think.
No, man, I couldn't agree with you more. And again, this may be naive of me, or like as simple as this sounds, Craig. Too, like we take pride in our office here. One day you'll be able to you'll be here in the office
I'd
as well.
love
Come
to,
enjoy
yeah,
some drinks. We'll be here,
yeah.
but like ask Boomrad. He's been here. These guys have seen like it's not a huge office, but it's an office that we're proud of, and people enjoy coming to. But I'm talking about like uniforms, the apparel, the merchandise, the social media campaigns that we do. Like it attracts people, right? So like we have every single day, Craig, people are coming in the door to work for our company. We're not the greatest, we're not the best, we're not the smartest, we're not the most technical, we're not the best cleaners, like, but we pride on culture and just being good people. So if companies just be honest, be good, treat the teams with respect, make them look good, right? Be proud of what you're wearing and like, look the part, feel the part. Like this helps these guys stand out a bit, right? Like I've been to the GDI office in Detroit, and from the outside in, you're like, okay, it's like an office building in normal space. Like come up to the top floor, it's beautiful, right? Like you're like, I like to be inside this office. It's I told Mike it's a beautiful space. Like it starts there with me. Like your website, your office, what your uniform is, what you stand for. That's the only stuff we have control over. That we can actually make an impact to really stand out with these, because it's tough, man. The workforce, they've got many options right now, many more now than they ever had before, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I mean that's exactly it. So if you've got an industry that's facing a 400% turnover, which is astounding, okay, just that data point
It
right
was
there.
200 like 3 years ago. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
200. I was like, that was low.
So
Now it's
you've
400. Jeez.
got a business where you've got that kind of turnover. You've got a very competitive marketplace to attract labor. Um, you're really dealing with a completely different type of person that's coming into the business. Uh, it doesn't take a lot to tip the scale. And you asked me why I came on and did this with you is number one, I want to give back to an industry that's been very, very good to me. But number two, I really like what you guys are doing because you're approaching it in a more creative, more hip, more fun, more progressive way than seeing the owner of a traditional cleaning business, right? And so I call that the new now, and I think there's an opportunity to Uberize this business, and when I say that is simplify, uh, try and figure out a way to eliminate complexity, find a way to get to the heart of the person that's actually delivering the product. And so, in the business I'm running now, when we wake up every day, we don't think about making and manufacturing chemical cleaning products. We wake up every day and we figure out how do we deliver technology and tools to the cleaner that makes them happy. And so, a very simple example of that is the pods, right? So why do
What
people
the R pods? Is that what you
the
said
R
or no?
pods, yeah, the soon to be R pods. And so why are people lugging around gallons of cleaning chemicals and putting up a dispenser in a closet that leaks that forces the cleaner to go back to one part of the facility to get the product that they need to use when they can throw a pod in an auto scrubber and fill it with a hose, right? Why do we give them 25 different products that they have to use? Why can't we give them three, right? Red, green, yellow.
Yeah.
Really, really simple. And so, that's what we think about every day
Yeah.
at Fuller, and obviously, you know, we're in the cleaning industry, and so that's what drives our psyche. And then, in terms of the business you're in, and the audience that really is gravitating to your content is small to medium sized company that has had a taste of the industry. They figure, hey, I can make a buck at this. How do I become better, and how do I grow? And what I would say to you, there's a huge opportunity. And if you take the simple concept of saying the persona or the psyche of the worker is changing, and how do I figure out how to make that person happy, I think you can be very successful.
I couldn't agree with you more, my man. I mean, it is a very fragmented industry, to say the least. I feel like I say this every day, but the stats say it's 93% of our industry operates at 1 million in revenue or under, right? That's like, I stop there because like that's it. That shows you how, and there's 1 million cleaning companies, over 1 million cleaning companies, right? So that shows you the freaking gap between the small business owner and then the large enterprise. Again, there's room for both, but there's a lot of room in the middle for the smaller contractor to succeed and grow and scale. Um, but they have to compete, right? Like they have to be given the tools and take advantage of the tools that are out there. And to your point, this cleaner 2.0 approach, that's up for grabs. Anybody can actually make that kind of a switch and make that kind of a transition to attract that talent, because it's not how it used to be. Like, many people don't want to work, no offense to you guys, right? Corporate America or corporate, they like boutique, they like small, they like, the ability to shift and be agile and make a decision. And like, those are the benefits we offer as a smaller size company. But that's why I say to the industry, and Craig can tell me, I've been saying this to you guys too, is with all that being said, there's still room for the small contractor to work with the large contractor. Talk about Rosalato and GDI. We have a great relationship. We work together, we win together, we build together. So again, small contractor, compete to get some of that business and grab some of that market share and grow your business. But that can also help or work by working with the larger contractor. So I think the larger contractors can gain more confidence in the smaller contractors if we start to find that 2.0 cleaner. We build a cleaner 2.0, you know, a team, and we approach the business in a more professional manner. We're going to be more looked at and more respected by the larger size companies and the larger size clients, because there is so much opportunity. It is unbelievable how much opportunity there is out there, but it comes down to confidence and professionalism and your team. You got to build that team. You cannot do this alone. You will not grow alone, and you will not scale by no means. Like, the word scale shouldn't even be in your vocabulary if you don't even know what growth means yet, right? Like, that's another behavior I think we got to start learning too as we grow.
Yeah, and I mean it can happen fast. And the other thing I would say too is it's all about the last mile. So it's all about that cleaner showing up at that facility to do the job, and to do the job with some level of passion that makes the difference. And so if you're a large organization, it's easier to staff a 1 million square foot facility. Okay, it's very
Mhm.
difficult to staff a small facility because you don't have as much
Boom.
leeway.
Yes.
So if you can partner
Yes.
with somebody that can deliver that last mile, that's reliable, that understands how to get to the heart of the cleaner and drives, this what I'm calling this brand ambassador approach to the technician. then that's a huge win for large companies and small companies. And like the two basic
Yes,
concepts we talked
yes.
about, day cleaning, team cleaning, those are not really difficult to implement. But you gotta go drive the change, and you gotta push the envelope a little bit.
Oh man, that's a whole other topic too. Like that, that embodies a good working relationship with the small and large contractor, because that's true, man. The larger contractor does a great job and is focused on the larger footprint, but then that gives us the leeway with the smaller footprint. But we still need the people. We still need to get out there and get that staff and make that change and show a larger contractor. Again, it's not that we have to show you to prove to you, right? It's we have to show you to prove to ourselves. Like we're ready. We're ready to take on a 50 location account because we got a seat at the table with the larger contractor and we have the opportunity to grow now with them. But we still have to have our ducks in a row, right? And it all starts with people. So this concept of the cleaner 2.0, man, I love this, man. Like this is a different perspective, to be honest, right? Again, because it doesn't come down to just pay. It doesn't come down to benefits. I would then, so let's segue then from this point. Do you have any tips, Craig, on like, or just, okay, perks, incentives? How do we speak? Training that we offer? Like, what else could we do to not only attract, but retain Cleaner 2.0 other than just like benefits and pay? Like, is there any things that you've seen that have been successful or you think could be successful, knowing the persona of a Cleaner 2.0?
Well, I mean, I think actually the path that you're on is a good path. So you're creating a brand that's somewhat funky. You're creating a brand that's not stuffy. You're creating a brand that's young at heart and embracing technology. So what you're doing around social media, what you're doing around how you position yourself, what you're doing around being real, a real human being. I'm not a suit. I always say it's the same old guys wearing the same old ties. uh, People don't necessarily want to work for a suit. They want to work for somebody that is progressive, that has a great culture, that has a brand identity that's fun and funky. Uh, if you say to your kid, "What company do you want to go join, and where do you want to spend the next 10 years of your life?" I think what you guys are doing is right on the mark. And so, for
So the
others in the
dry,
space,
it's a dry, Craig, it's the dry fit mafia. That's what we're going to
the
call
dry
ourselves.
fit mafia. Yes, and
The
I
dry
still
fit mafia.
and I still, wear a shirt, and I'm old, but I'm a kid at heart. Always remember that.
No, you are, man.
But
And that's why,
yeah,
like, I would tell people, talking to you, Craig, at the past, especially in the past event, it was like we were back in Florida when we first met. Like that is why I have a lot of faith in our industry, where not that you're passing the baton, right? Like, but you're like you are giving back with knowledge of you still need the lot knowledge and the history of the experience in the space that we're in, but you couple that with the future. And again, there's going to be another 30, 40 years of success for our industry. It's going to keep growing year over year because you guys are helping us know what we should know, gain the subject matter, but maybe do things with a twist, right? Create a different niche, adapt to the future that's at hand. So again, yeah, if you guys don't know Craig, you ever see him around, I'm telling you guys, all you guys have to do is say what's up, hi, give him an elbow, give him a fist pump. This guy will sit down and talk to you and share a lot of nuggets, man. But yeah, so Craig, as we come down to the hour here, what I mean, what anything else you want to leave the audience with this whole cleaner 2.0 concept that we've been talking about? Because again, there's a lot here, man. There's a lot of nuggets that I don't care if you're small, medium, or large. This is what you should be thinking about. Because again, sales is easier, in my opinion. Staffing is where everybody it's a brick wall, and you've got to get over it, or else you're just not going to grow. But anything else you want to leave with everybody on this concept?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you want to be successful in this business, you have to, or we have to figure out to get to the heart of the worker. And the more we understand the persona, the more we understand what makes them tick, the better the environment we can create in order for them to succeed and excel. And so the labor force is changing. It's going to become very challenging. It is challenging. And so I think if you're going to be successful, you got to kind of, flip the coin and start to think about how do I attract these people? How do I understand them better? And then how do I make them happy?
Yeah. And I think that's actually like the last sentence I wrote of what you said. Like, make the process of cleaning more excited. The persona of the new cleaner. How do we make them happy? In one word, happiness. To back that up, positivity, right? Like, if you create a positive environment that reflects happiness to your workforce, I'm going to take those chances over anywhere else, right? Like, you put your best foot forward. So if you guys are taking this away, like, it just create a positive environment, man, right? Work on your culture, help make the cleaner's life better, easier, and give them the ability to be happy. Because, we only got so much time on this planet. Time is, it's free, but when you spend it, it's gone. You're not getting it back. So, I mean, right? Like, let's do the best we can as leaders. If you're a business owner, you're a leader. You've been put in that position. If you're upper management, you're a leader. It's our job, right? At the end of the day, it's our job to make our cleaners and our teams happy with what they're doing, or else they can go anywhere else, man. They don't have to be here. They don't have to be working for us or with us.
Yeah, I mean, I always have this analogy: if it is to be, it's up to me. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is, every time you interact with somebody, it's a moment of truth. That moment of truth can go positive or negative. And so when you're interacting with your staff and you're talking about recruiting them and you're talking about motivating them and training them and retaining them, that's a moment of truth. And if you love your cleaner will love you.
Boom. Drop the mic right there. All right. Well, Craig,
It's been a pleasure.
thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you.
Cheers to you.
One
Yes.
last time. All
Look
right.
forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails. I want to say thank you to Craig Rudin again for taking the time to really share some knowledge on this whole Cleaner 2.0 concept, you guys. Everybody should be thinking about it. This should be on your mind. This should be something you are focused on. This is a people business that we're in. So, Craig, you're the man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And everybody, I will drop Craig's information down below in the post. It's on the YouTube link like we always have it. Craig, I'm sure you're open to anybody contacting
I'm
you.
always happy to chat with people about this business. I love this business.
Yes, but you're not making our pods for anybody else where it's only for Rosalato.
There
All right.
you go.
On that note.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I
Ciao.
appreciate you guys.
See you later. Bye bye.